60% of Google searches now end without a click.
Hi there and welcome to From Ideas to Results. Today we're going to explore all the things that have been happening in the world of content in the last 30 days. I'm joined by Kitty and we're going to go straight into our first topic, which is going to be zero clicks. Can you give us a bit of an introduction to the concept of zero clicks?
Yeah, sure. So a zero-click search does exactly as it says on the tin. It's a search in which the user gets all of their information from the search engine results page without actually making any clicks. Why this matters now is because there's a recent statistic that about 60% of Google searches now end without a click. So users are staying on that search engine results page. So for brands, this might be quite concerning because those 10 blue links are not where the traffic's coming from anymore. So the number of queries that qualify as zero click are growing rapidly. So increasingly brands that want to rank for these informational queries, it's way more competitive. Nowadays, it's not just brands competing with each other for the most clicks, it's actually competing for clicks in general because there's not as many, the click-through rates are lower because of these AI overviews.
As a brand, should you be concerned? And if you are concerned, what do you do about trying to reduce that kind of risk that you're potentially seeing?
I don't think you should be concerned, firstly, because there is data to suggest that although people aren't clicking on the organic search results as much, the sources that are being cited in the AI overviews, the click-through rate for them, if you get featured as a source, is quite high. Although yes, there's probably less traffic coming through the regular results for these informational queries, if you can get into those top spots, the payoff's really, really huge. But I wouldn't be worried about it, I think.
So we're saying that it's a zero-click idea, but actually there are still clicks, but then just in a different way. They're coming through the sources, essentially.
Yes.
That if you've been referenced as a source within the AI overview, you still got a good chance that people will explore that click-through.
Yeah.
There's still the brand mention. You get that kind of, that the value from that. So you still want to be in those AI overviews.
Yes, absolutely. You get your little tiles. I think mostly there's below 9. There's no more than 9 kind of sources cited for each AI overview. So there's 3 main ones that get shown before it's expanded. Over each of those, you get a little image sometimes, you get the brand mention, the title of the piece, and a little, almost a bit like the regular meta title and meta description on a regular SERP, you get that too. That's top visibility. You want to be in those top 3 at least, yeah.
How do AI overviews determine what features within it?
There's a number of things. So Google's system, what it's focusing on is content quality, is the structure of the content. How easy is that structure to scan, firstly, recognize the entities in that content, and then reproduce in 200 words or less as an AI overview. Also, it's taking into account the brand authority. So how many trust signals and how many kind of votes of confidence does this particular brand have on the internet that Google can see? So something that's good about AI overviews is not necessarily always choosing the biggest brands, but it's choosing the ones that are most authoritative and the content that's the most specialist. So you could be a really small brand that knows loads about shoelaces. You wouldn't necessarily be competing with Timpsons, the shoe and pair people, because you have a really good piece of content that goes into great depth. It's got brand mentions, backlinks, got good structure.
Okay, so it's not just the big brands that are winning out, but we are seeing though there's quite a lot of value in those. When we're talking about with classes about also building that brand authority, because if you build the brand authority, then you're more likely to feature more broadly in this.
Yeah,
Is that fair to say?
I think the distinction is just brand size. You don't necessarily have to be a big brand, you just have to be an authoritative brand in your field. And then that's where things like digital PR can be really helpful in building brand authority, even if your brand size is not huge.
Is there anything to be aware of in terms of how we would approach that differently for other search engines at the moment, or are they actually emulating Google's approach to this?
There's this phrase that's being chucked around quite a lot, search everywhere optimization, which is, nodding towards the fact that share of voice is now a really important factor, because you're not just on the search engine results page or in an AI overview, but you might also be a source in GPT or things like Perplexity. The Google guidelines for content quality apply across the board. So it's no coincidence that if you optimize your content to have good structure, if you work on your brand authority, you anticipate follow-up questions that users might ask, and you work them into your content as H3s, H4s, you've got a greater chance of appearing as in an AI overview and being picked up by GPT as a source and Perplexity. It's just quality across the board. It's no target strategies for different kind of GPT AI search engines.
Yeah, okay, so that's still that kind of that entity focus, helping them understand things, not the strings.
Yes, something that comes up time and time again is semantic clarity. So you've got your content structure and then you've got what you're actually talking about. It's just being really clear about what you're saying. So if you're saying, if you want to change a tire, picture it like a coconut. You don't want to picture it like a coconut. You want to have a clear bullet points that an AI systems can lift and reproduce. You can have both, as long as, if you open with, a really punchy or provocative thing, you just have to somewhere else have it really really clearly.
Fascinating stuff, and we've got, if that was of use and you want to find out more information about the concept around zero clicks and also how you can focus on AI, not just from a Google perspective, but also search everywhere, we have got a marketing leadership series on the 27th of March, and we'll be joined by a series of experts talking about this topic in a lot more detail to really help you set yourself apart against the competition. Thanks very much, and we'll see you again soon.